A particular phrase I really resonate with is the idea that learning is unobstructed self-expression. And I have a particular breakdown of the way that I interpret that phrase, where when I look at unobstructed self-expression. So first of all, the self-expression itself has to be unobstructed. How do you remove certain obstacles in your path? You have to be pretty good at recognizing what is an obstacle in your path, what's an opportunity for you to improve, what are the potential things that are obstructing you, how to get out of the way or how to move those things out of the way. And I look at that as having an understanding of your internal architecture and design and the external architecture and design. You need to understand the internal structures and the external structures to then figure out how you're going to navigate those structures and then avoid obstructions, so get unobstructed. Then you have yourself, which is kind of like your boundary layer where you choose to take some element of action. You play by certain rules to control and operate those structures. And this is where you kind of are doing a lot of the algorithm really internally. And then when we look at expression or expression of self, that is, in my head, taking action, right? We're at that moment trying to take and express what we internally have calculated, interpreted, or perceived about the environment, the external and internal structures. So in this process, I think that language for me is a nice parallel, and I've had that language for a while, but I think it's useful when thinking about VLA and VLN models, vision, language, action, or vision, language, navigation models. And part of this came up because I was just writing certain elements for my resume in interviews where I was trying to identify my resume traits under vision, solutions, and impact. So thinking about the vision, how you're perceiving what you need to do and what's the problem space, like an overview of it. Then you have a solution, which is how were you navigating the problem space? What were the kinds of rules that you wanted to set in order to control the structures? Or control what you saw, right? And then in this case, the impact. What's the business impact of the solution that it's going to have, and what kind of action items in the future will it inspire? So in this case, I think the solution lands closer towards the self-expression together. But the reason I think this worked well is because it introduces this idea of you need to perceive the environment around you or within you, followed by defining some set of rules or system of control or particular language with which you can execute commands. And then you're finding some type of action, whether that be navigating your environment around you, taking some sort of internal action or motion that may not be represented in the world outside, or some other form of action that may be considered an expression of yourself. So learning is unobstructed self-expression. That's where I think it aligns with vision and perceiving. Then we have language, or trying to create some sort of system in which you can execute, through which you're able to execute, giving a story to yourself. And then expression, which is where you specifically take action or navigate your circumstances around you. And that all together creates learning, your ability to learn, and how you are interpreting learning as an active process between yourself and the environment around you. Because learning, I look at as said, now here we went to the nitty gritty. Now when I say unobstructed self-expression, I literally mean it's your ability to express yourself in the ways that you want based on your environmental contexts without having any interruptions in your path. That's you getting to that flow state. That's learning. That's the way I like to treat learning.